Hello and welcome to this quick pick reading today. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. So happy to have you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support and being open to the messages that are coming through for you. Welcome back. Today, we are doing a quick pick that is all about your earned wisdom. This is wisdom that you have gained through your experiences. That's the only way to gain earned wisdom. It's not something you can read in a book or watch on a certain whatever show, class. You have to actually earn it by living it. If you don't know me yet, my name is Jody. I am an intuitive mentor and channel, which means it's my job to listen to spirit and to provide the divine messages that are coming through for you. You can find out all about my services anytime at thespiritexperience.com. So I'm going to take this 22 Tarot Numerology Insights that will change your life. That's what the deck is called. It is only the major arcana, and we're going to pull 3 from here. They just said, turn it, Jody. They're too big. So I'm just going to get 3 here. Ooh, there's one. Flying right out. Oh, that top one. Thank you. And one more. And then we're going to top those with messages from the Mermaid card. A little awkward to shuffle because they are large. And there's only 22 of them total. No. Yes. Okay. There we go. We got 1, 2, 3 set up there for us. And let's top these with the messages from the Mermaids. And I will show this to you so you can have an idea just of which pile is calling to you. Just a quick reminder before we begin, this is a general reading, it's a collective reading. It is not an individual reading, so please just listen during your reading to the nuggets that are coming through for you and resonating with you, and then just leave the rest. Let's see, pile 1 here. Turn away. Turn away. Ooh, okay. Deep from the Mermaids there, pile 1. Definitely an 8 of Cups vibe. Okay, let's see, pile 2. Group 2, awareness. Awareness for you, pile 2 peeps. And lastly, whoa, this one just wants to come, so we're taking it. Decisions, pile number 3, group 3. Card 3. All right, so take a good look, and once you feel as though you know which pile belongs to you and what is going to tell you about your earned wisdom and what you've been able to gain through your life experiences thus far, you can head down below to the timestamps to jump right ahead to your reading. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you're listening to this, you chose the first pile all the way to the left, the Turn Away card. We do have a major arcana card underneath this that's going to give us a good idea of what the theme energy is for the wisdom that you've gained through your experience. We're going to look at what worked, what didn't, and the wisdom that you've gained that you can carry with you. This is a quick pick, so it's 3 columns. I am just going to move your mermaid energy here and see what we have under this card first. The Devil energy, 15, 6, fun. Enjoy life and success according to own definition of what is fun and recharges self. Self-knowledge and enjoyment. So wow, when you couple these together, it looks like if you haven't understood this yet, which is kind of the intention for the reading, sometimes we don't even realize, or we don't take a step take a time to look back. We don't take the step or take the time to look back on what it is that we have gained, that we have learned, that we have earned. Earned wisdom is like the most valuable kind of wisdom because you have to move through your life in order to gain it. And for you, it looks like this beautiful card here, the Devil energy, is about reoccurring cycles, okay? And it's about really imprisoning yourself, distracting yourself, and getting distracted by things that just don't work for you or are not benefiting you or are just not aligned with your highest good anymore. And so I love that in this deck, they've put fun here. Enjoy your life and enjoy your success according to your own definition of what fun is and your own definition of what recharges you. It's learning more about yourself in order to be able to enjoy your life. And that's going to include letting go, detaching, turning away from old cycles or distractions that lead you into like negative cycles, right? Because that's what the devil is all about. It's like a prison of your own making to a certain extent, where you may stay trapped there, but the self-knowledge, what you know about yourself, is what is going to free you and allow you to turn away from the things that might distract you that are not serving you. Now, I do want to get all of your cards laid out here since this is a quick pick, so we can move it along for you through the reading. So first column is all about what worked. And I'm choosing here from the soul's journey. What didn't? Ooh, and look at that. That card was upright. That's okay, thank you. I'm just looking to see if there's any other. Wow, so this is like a pop-out message for you, group 1, which I love. We'll just set this aside for 1 second or set this down. Trust, I accept what my inner voice, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. This is the key to this devil energy. I feel like this is connected to the overview energy for you. It's a pop-out message. So weird that this card is the only one that's upright in this deck, right? Strange. But clearly your spirit guides, your spirit team, spirit is coming through for you, group 1, to tell you it's safe to actually trust yourself right now. The knowledge that you have of yourself is far and vast, is how they just said it, far and vast. You will be impeccable with your decision making about what you're going to keep and what you're going to leave and what you're going to turn away from. If you can really step into trusting yourself and what you know to be true about yourself, what's fun for you. This card is asking you to really tap into and ask yourself what is fun for you and what recharges you, what you do need to stay away from or be aware of. I'm just going to set the trust card aside, as it is a pop-out message to help you understand that it's safe to trust the knowledge that you have of yourself, and it's safe to turn away from certain things right now that are no longer serving you. You've been able to learn somehow about that, and we're going to get some more information. So this card here will represent the earned wisdom, the wisdom gained. I'm going to couple those with 3 cards from the Good Tarot. Just going to listen till they tell me to stop. There it is. And pull from the top. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. These are only read upright, these cards. And a cute little affirmation for the end of your reading. Affirmation, words of inner wisdom, mini. Oh, thank you. Okay. And last but not least, I love the guidance that comes with the Sacred Creator. So we are using that deck for a closing piece of wisdom or something to think about. Thank you. Okay. All right, group 1. Let's see what we've got under these cards. So what worked for you? What worked for you? Ooh, fear. I realized that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. The devil energy, it keeps you stuck with the ego self, which is where you find the fear to begin with, okay? And it's not strange to think, like, the fear has worked for me. Afraid of failure, afraid of being judged, right? And being able to make decisions from a place of, it's like how do you explain that though? It's sort of what they're saying is like a low vibration of what success is or what success means. And so you may have been acting previously out of fear and it's actually worked for you. And maybe you don't even realize that consciously, but this is like a scarcity mindset. Your mind helps you to stay safe sometimes. And we can learn those things over time, okay? And what they're saying here is coming from that energy has worked for you, meaning your ego self has protected you in certain ways with fear, which I know sounds strange, but it does work sometimes. gets you to a certain positioning or a certain place or a certain marker. And from there, you must transition to a loving state or back to your own spirit self, your intuition, your soul, etc., and what you've gained or learned about yourself as it concerns fear. So this is a nice nod for you because we've got the devil here. That's a very interesting depiction of what the devil card means. Time to turn away from this fear now, I think. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So it may have been a struggle for you sometimes, but it worked for you to get to a certain marker, which is nice. There's nothing wrong with that, You're like, oh, you got to stay out of fear. Listen, we all have fears, right? That's super human. Is you got fear, and you're not supposed to not have any fear. And sometimes being afraid of things, if we run towards that or we overcome it, it really can work for us. So you facing your fears, you recognizing your fears, you being afraid to, for instance, fail, it may have worked for you to get to this marker and learn more about yourself. Let's see what the coupling card is. Yes. Oh my gosh. So it has. The King of Water, the King of Cups. The King of Cups has emotional stability, a beautiful, compassionate leader that just feels very stable in, like, their emotional body doesn't get cluttered up. And that's how they're able to lead and serve and affect other people positively. Because first, they've figured out how to be okay with themselves. Like, other people's stuff doesn't come in to infiltrate and affect their emotions extremely, like from one way to the other. It's not that the King of Water doesn't feel, it's just that he is able to balance his emotions, and there is a beautiful understanding that he is protected and does not need to be taking on the emotions of other people. So being able to balance your emotions in a space where you may be afraid, or where you're trying to turn to love, or where you've had things that have tested you or challenged you, has helped you learn about yourself and what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Love this energy, group one. So yeah, you've definitely made it to a marker now. It is safe for you to, step into the energy of love. Live in the energy of love is what the card says. So I love living in the energy of love at a very high level. Master of the suit here with that. So this is what's been working for you, and I love that. I would just pay attention to the fears, because it feels to me that once you acknowledge them, you kind of easily move past them. You see them for what they are, and you're able to, find success here. Enjoy your life and find success by not letting those fears kind of overtake you, especially your emotions. You've been able to figure out how to stay stable in that space. Wow. Love that. Okay, let's see what didn't work. Ooh, the guilt energy. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. Guilt. You got fear and guilt. So the fear is working for you. You're able to move through that, but you probably feel some sort of guilt arise maybe on the back end of that. So that's a bit of a yo-yoing energy, but I think you figured it out here. Let's see what else they have to say about this card here. Yeah. To me, it feels like, group one, you have figured this out already. It may pop up every now and again. It's just for spirit to check on it and see, like, are they still able to overcome this, set this aside, rise up to a different perspective and understand where that guilt is really coming from, where it's stemming from, being able to overcome it, or have a space within themselves, is how they're saying it, to not fall back into negative cycles or patterns. And well done you for recognizing these points of guilt and how they are messengers of fear, is how they're saying it, and just not true. It's just not true. It's something that you may have learned, like it's on the back of a narrative. So you may step through the fear to create success in your life, or to move forward and do things that really light your soul up or make you feel super balanced and like you can lead with compassion. You can lead your life that way. You have compassion for yourself. And then maybe let's say you take time for yourself to have some fun or recharge. You walk away from something or turn away and this pops up. But I feel as though you have mastered it. And again, mastering something on the physical plane as a human being doesn't mean it's gone forever. It just means as it pops up the next time, which it will, because that's how spirit is. They like to kind of go, let's check in on this. Let's see what they've learned here. When it pops up the next time, you just have a better understanding of yourself to be able to navigate it more quickly. You move through it and you return to a higher space. Woo, 9 of Air, yes. Look at her. She looks free. The 9 of Air is the 9 of Swords. So yeah, I think that this can be a worrisome energy, really. The 9 of Swords is being conflicted in your mind, stressing over things, worrying over things. And obviously, like, the guilt energy will bring that in, no doubt at all, that it will bring that in and kind of tag you with it, you know? And as I said, check on it. The key is worrying about it doesn't help it go away at all. It just accentuates it. And if you haven't yet, just know that you have the ability at this point to be able to release the guilt and to, it's like come out of the worry. It's like rising up energy. Very interesting how she has this card depicted. It looks like there's an opportunity to fly here, right? To have peace of mind as opposed to have worry in the mind, which is usually what this card is. So the guilt will create that stressed out mental state, which will feed the fear, which again, stepping through that fear is working for you, maybe, but you can release the guilt now. It's not working. It doesn't work. If you haven't released it or haven't quite figured it out yet, it's time to release any beliefs that no longer assist in your soul's growth, to turn away from those, because it's just not, that doesn't work. It's not working for you. And it's actually, how they're giving it to me is like, it's not true. That guilt and that narrative in your mind, it's actually not based in the divine truth. It comes from an old story, an old pattern, an old way of believing, and an old, it's like the results of, right? So you take these beautiful actions, you're very successful, you're getting to know yourself better. And then on the back of those decisions, up comes guilt. So doing things out of guilt hasn't been working, didn't work, it's not working, and it's certainly not helping you to persevere forward. So you can leave that now. And you've learned. This is a reading all about earned wisdom. Again, you've got to experience that guilt coming up in order to be able to earn the wisdom from it and actually be able to fly here or to rise up and have an opportunity in your mind to not carry the worry, instead have peace of mind around the truth about the guilt. Like, you have, if there are beliefs that are going on, they're just not true anymore. Maybe they were never true. You know, ask yourself that. But that's not working. It's not going to work. So safe to release that now and actually give yourself the peace of mind, the clarity of mind that you need, and practice that. They just said, practice it if you need to. Okay, let's look into the wisdom gain, the earned wisdom, envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Very deep reading here, group 1. I mean, I guess we have the devil here. We're dealing with all of these kind of the energy that brings you into the prison of the devil, but it's such a fun vibe that comes along with this card today for you that I just can't help but think that you have overcome this, or you're on your way to doing that. It's safe for you to do that. This is the wisdom that you've gained. That prison may have kept you for a while, but now it's time to have fun with your life, to understand yourself better, and you've gained, right, the pedestal has been broken? No. Smashed? It looks like somebody's like knocking you off your pedestal here. It's like humility energy. Like, come down to the level by which everyone exists at. So coming out of the ego, not feeling like, oh, I got to climb the ladder, they're doing better than me. I need to rise up. I've only made it to this level, but I want to be up here, or I'm higher than they are. I'm better than they are, I'm smarter than they are, I'm all this stuff, but with different challenges. Interesting. It feels like owning yourself, this devil. So you may have learned that envy doesn't work, the comparisons don't work, and they don't actually apply to you, is what Spirit's saying. They don't apply to you, Group 1. That is the wisdom that you have gained to take yourself into the future, working with your own gifts and your own abilities and your own personal, beautiful talents, and not comparing yourself to other people. And envious energy is, well, these are all connected to this devil energy, and they have spun this so nicely for you that it's safe to say that those prisons that you may have kept yourself in are really just like disintegrating, dissolving. They're not available, at the very least, they're not available in the same way that they used to be. And there's no need to envy anybody else because nobody else is going to be you in your individual physical embodiment. And at the same time, everyone is you. And so you're able to serve from a really unique place by continuing to understand that at that soul level, at that divine level, you're just like everybody else. You just have different physical challenges, in your body, in your physical experience. Let's see what the coupling card is. Oh, yes, Queen of Earth. You have figured this out. Well done, Group 1. Well done. Holy cow. This is a lot to be dealing with. A lot. Yeah, they just said, hey, it's been hard sometimes. So, okay, it's been hard sometimes. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. You have grounded yourself in beautiful, nurturing prosperity is the word they want me to use. You have understood, you'd figured out how to understand more about yourself to ground you and to do the practical things that you may need to do in order to be more of who you truly are and not have this kind of energy leading your life. This is, yeah. The whole vibe of this is like a rising up type of energy where you have ascended, you've made it to some kind of marker, Group 1, where the wisdom you've gained is about not allowing yourself to be distracted really by the low vibing stuff of your ego, of your mind, and instead existing here on the physical plane at a high level, nurturing yourself, being able to, it's like create material wealth as well, enjoying the finer things, enjoying the things of the physical plane without getting caught up in all the things of your mind. It just, you've used those egoic prisons that can come up for us to be able to shift into something that helps you expand and helps others actually expand at the same time. You don't stay in something when it's time for you to turn away from it or walk away from it. You've learned that this is what's fun for me, and that's okay. This is what recharges me. I need to take a break. I'm not the same as everybody else, but I am the same as everybody else. It's like you see your divine sister and brotherhood, your divine beings, as their divinity, as you are set firmly in your own physical experience, gaining, receiving, and then like nurturing yourself and then sending that out and nurturing others in kind is how they want me to say it, in kind. It's like you've been able to overcome this. Wow. That's all I can say. Very high level energy. If you were wondering if this is something that you've been able to earn, it's leaving all this ego stuff and rising up. Well done. Well done, Group 1. Wow. Okay, let's see what the final little piece of information here is from Sacred Creators. Bravely market your magic. I feel like with all of this kind of devil, low vibrating stuff showing up in your life to help you learn, to help you earn that wisdom, because you've reached this point, you do have the magic. That's why this is coming up. So if you like own your own business, or if this could be anywhere, this doesn't mean market necessarily in a business sense. So like, for instance, at home, you could use it. But it's really stepping into your magic and being able to promote yourself from that grounded, intentional place that you know you belong here and that you're not like anybody else and you've been able to overcome a lot and you know who you are. And that can be of benefit and service to others. And it's magic energy that you've risen up into as a result of going through and overcoming some of this really difficult kind of narratives in your head, stuff that would have kept you down, stuff that would have kept you in negative cycles, okay? You have risen and you're grounded, high level grounded at the same time. You've been able to create something wonderful. And it looks like now with this card, it's time to really bring that out into the light, bring it out into the physical space around you, whether that be, like I said, at work with your friends or at home. It's like stepping into your full, magic. It's the only way to say it, I suppose. Stepping into your own inner light within yourself, acknowledging the fact that you know yourself well enough now because of what you've been through to be able to stand in your divine light, which is the magic, and do it from a place that isn't in comparison, that doesn't make you better or worse than somebody else, that just that allows you to be who you are. You just are, right? And you're able to go out there confidently. Like your confidence might have been knocked for sure with these kinds of cards and this kind of energy. But now it's not the time for that. Now it's time to step into your magic with the wisdom you've gained. Absolutely. And not to feel bad for it and not to be egoic about it. Pompous, they just said. And not to be pompous about it, I guess. Wow. Okay, let's get your affirmation to close your reading. Love your energy. Destroy. Blow your deadly winds, light some fires, release some waves, shake things up, break things down. Wow. See, it's like super powerful energy. Another 9 there. That's a 9. Destroy. 9 of air. 9. It's like you're breaking through barriers. You've risen. If this isn't feeling like it's totally resonating with you yet, I'm picking up like a confidence energy, confidence block. So just sit with it for a while. Blow your deadly winds, light some fires, release some waves, shake things up, break things down. It's this energy. It's this stuff going, absolutely not. I'm not there anymore. I've moved on from that. I'm not that kind of a person anymore. I don't get caught up and distracted with things that do not align with my highest possible frequency. Even if you have a bad day or you do get taken down by guilt or your fear is bothering you or you feel like you're comparing yourself to others, you are able to return, given the wisdom that you've earned, to that divine light, to that magic, and destroy anything that might be standing in your way, especially if it's to do with your mind or your ego or a negative cycle or a negative pattern or a negative narrative that may have been tagging you for a while. You've been able to learn and earned the wisdom from moving through that stuff and rising. So yeah, shake things up, break things down. You don't have to stay in the worried, stress mindset anymore. It's just, you've learned. It's just not who you are. I love your energy, group 1. If you found this reading helpful, you can let me know by giving it a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below. And if you know someone else that would find it helpful, feel free to share it with them so that they can receive the messages that they need. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified the next time that I post a pick a card reading. All I have to say is, wow, this is some heavy stuff, group 1. And now it's time for you to enjoy your life and enjoy your success and know that you have the wisdom to overcome anything, destroy any negative thing that stands in your way, and just return to your light and like share that magic with the world. I hope that this served you. Thank you so much, group number 1. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading today. This is a quick pick. We're looking at your earned wisdom. And if you're listening to this, then you chose the second card in the middle with the awareness mermaid. All they were saying prior to your reading was antennas up, which is such an amazing thing to have learned right, is to understand and be aware as you're walking through your life for the sign symbols that are coming through from spirit, your intuition flagging you. They just said being able to read people, which is interesting. Let's set this aside. I want to see what's underneath your major arcana from the 22 Tarot. Numerology insights that will change your life deck, to give us an overview of this kind of wisdom that you have been able to gain. Death, 13. Wow. Art, communication of inner workings in a creative way. A statement. They have action here and communication. Card 13. Wow. Wow. This is rebirth energy, right? That's what death is. It's endings, beginnings, change, transition, really working through the transformation. So you are not the same as you used to be. And now I think that, well, none of us are, right? So that's just kind of a general statement. But group 2, whatever you have been through has allowed you to be reborn. They just said over and over again. So you may have had to reinvent yourself, for instance, over and over again to be able to learn what it is that you've needed to learn. And now you're those highly, the only way I can say it is how they said it, which is antennas up, which means like your energy is always aware and picking up the signals. It's like, well, what an antenna does, right? And that's a huge thing because Spirit's always signaling us, right? And when you're aware that you're walking with a divine source that's there guiding you, it's just huge. It allows you to reinvent yourself and be guided through that over and over again. Plus, some of you will probably be artists, creatives, or they're showing me somebody decorating their home. You may not do that as your, let's say, profession, but you may just naturally be connected to that and creative and allowing yourself to be reborn or reinventing your spaces, right? Or reinventing your life or repurposing, rebranding, they just said. All right, what I'm doing right now is getting all of your cards first so we can move through your reading. So this column is what worked. This column is what didn't. Shall I continue? The bottom? I think they want this card. No, this? Yes, oh, the top, okay, perfect. All right, so what worked, what didn't, and the wisdom that you gained or the earned wisdom here. And I am just going to couple it so that we can get a bit more information with a card from the Good Tarot, which I will shuffle till they tell me to stop and then pull from the top. Well, that's one. Yeah, and then keep going. Got it. Thank you. Okay, those will only be read upright. And Sacred Creators card for the end. Yeah, okay. And a little affirmation. These affirmations might be little, but they're pretty powerful. Got it. The feather. All right, let's take a look at the kind of wisdom that you're stepping into now. Group number 2. Woo. Okay. What worked? Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities it presents. Well, that's an easy one. Yeah, they're talking about no matter what you have been through, it's like, it feels like things have concluded. It's like, thank you. They're saying like, you're the type of person that feels like you may have lived many lives in one life. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, when you think about your past, you're like, oh my God, it feels like a lifetime ago or like a different life altogether. And you've been able to persevere through it and know what you know, because when those things came to an end, no matter how painful or hurtful or sad they were, no matter how much it like upended your life, whatever changes happen, you would allow yourself to feel, it feels like, and then you would return to gratitude. It's like you've had an awareness all along. That's what it feels like. And you were able to trust that somehow. Let's see what's coupling this. Yes, King of Earth. You grounded yourself in gratitude. The King of Pentacles is this abundant, secure energy. It's a super grounded energy, master of the suit, master of pentacles. You've mastered it. Gratitude has been what has carried you through, period. And I think you've learned that, like, no matter what, if you're thankful for what you have, you get more of what it is that's meant for you. Wow. Very straightforward. They said you may turn to the creative pieces during the transformation, right? Because they're giving us that kind of energy here with this particular death card. A statement. It's almost like you allow yourself to be aware of what's happening, and then you accept it, and then you reinvent yourself, or you move forward and you do it saying thank you the whole way, and you ground yourself in, and this has worked for you to move through your life. Or like I said, it feels like you might have lived like many different kinds of lifetimes in one life. That's kind of what it feels like. Okay, what hasn't worked? This was very straightforward. Amazing. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Okay. They're posing it in questions like, have you learned that? Can you remember a time where your pride got in the way and it stopped you from being able to let go? Thank you. Stopped you from being able to transform or transition or become that next version of yourself that was so much more wise and lit up than the previous version. So I think you already obviously know this. You may have been in situations where stubborn, they just said. You've been stubborn and not wanting things to change and not wanting to feel that hurt or that sadness again, or not wanting for this to be over. But once you moved into the gratitude, once you accepted and moved into the gratitude, it's like you became, the awareness tells me you've become more and more aware of this hindering you. They keep showing me the word stubbornness with this card in particular, like in this position for you. Where it's like the more you resist and the more you try to hang on to it, it just creates conflict. Let's see what's coupling it. Wow, another king. Wow, look at that. Oh, okay. Yep. The king of water is the king of cups. Another master of the suit. Master of the suit. So this is emotions. So your stubbornness and your pride kept you holding on to things, not allowing you to be able to be in a place where you felt stable emotionally. Oh, they're talking about some of you maybe going to seek help for the like the turmoil energy or the complicated emotional energy, meaning maybe you've gone to talk to somebody or you've gone to a center or treatment center, retreat. They just retreat. Yeah. Maybe you've gone to a retreat or something to help you move through those emotions and the imbalances of what you've taken on and what you don't want to change, or helping to understand why someone would do that is what they're saying. So if that's for you, you know what that means. And hopefully you've come to a place where you feel more in control, more grounded. It's like you return your emotions and your thought processes to gratitude, because that's what works for you to get out of emotional instability, stubbornness, or not wanting to let go, or questioning that why energy, like, why me? Why now? Why again? That kind of thing. It doesn't work for you. So the sooner that you return to gratitude, the more grounded you become. And I think that stabilizes, or it allows a foundation for your emotions to be cleared, to be washed away. Yeah. And they're saying it like returns you to your heart center there. And the key is like this energy, this awareness energy of just knowing what it is that's being communicated to you, what you're feeling. It's like you've learned more about how you process change. And this is so valuable because, of course, change is constant. Everything's always changing. Whether we like it or not, things are going to change. Nothing ever stays the same. And you've just learned how to navigate that. Let's see what's under the earned wisdom or wisdom gained. Yes. Wow. With love, success, Wow. Okay. Group 2. I know that there is no greater goal than love. Gratitude and love. You know, it sounds like thank you. It sounds like a simple thing is what they're saying. Right. Oh, just have gratitude, return to your heart center, and you'll feel successful. You'll feel like a success. Just love. But it's really sometimes easier said than done here on the human plane, the physical plane, the human plane. Especially when, you know, things are hard or changing a lot, or you've gone through things. You've gone through things and had to reinvent yourself. So, group 2, wow. Clearly, you have earned the wisdom. That success energy is just sitting there in your heart center. No, it's a knowing. I know that I can get through anything. I know that no matter what happens or what changes, I can turn to love and I can turn to gratitude. I know that I have an awareness that's like far beyond. It feels like it's far beyond what your average person may be walking around noticing or observing. Because awareness is all observation energy. It's not judgment. It's looking at something the way it is and trying to process it in a way that works for you. And being able to be more aware over time has really allowed you to transform into this beautiful, successful beacon of love and gratitude. Wow. The 4 of air, the 4 of swords. Ooh, this is a resting card. Okay, so maybe some of this returning to love has to do with like sitting in a like meditation or taking that time out for yourself, giving yourself time to rest, giving yourself time to reconnect, learning that that's okay. And I feel like the reinvention energy that they keep talking about comes on the back of doing this. It's like you have learned how to successfully transition through change, which used to probably take you down. That's what it looks like. It used to take you down. And now you've come to a place where you're so aware of changes needing to happen, transitions needing to happen, being able to guide your own self through it, asking for help where you need it, and just returning to your heart center, returning to love, and relaxing into that, taking the breaks that you need to reconnect and relaxing into that as you sort of, it's like a flow. You've learned how to flow through change for your absolute highest good. Again, just feels like you've lived several lifetimes or something in one. And I'm sure you're very creative. You feel like the creativity must help the reinvention. It must help you move your emotions in a way that works for you so you can get to that place of love and gratitude. Wow. Yeah, you have a beautiful energy, group 2. Love, love, love it. Let's see what's under this Sacred Creators card. Your soul shines. It sure does. Wow. Yes. I don't even know what to say. I think that beautiful star speaks for itself. Your soul shines. Your soul shines. They said it doesn't need anything else, Jody. Don't soil it. That's it then. Your soul shines. They want you to know that. Affirmation to close the reading. Change. Wow. Change. 19. Number 19. Be prepared. An adventure is coming your way. Well, I would say, group 2, after everything we've seen here, that you're more than prepared. Not only, it feels like you're like, yeah, bring it on. Absolutely. I love change. You're not afraid of change at all. You have learned to stay in love and gratitude and reinvent yourself through the changes. So welcome the changes. Be prepared. An adventure is coming your way. I love that. Wow. If you found this reading helpful, group number 2, and I hope that you did, I love your energy, please leave me a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below. Yeah. It's like they're saying, leave me a comment with some sort of an emoji. I don't know why they would say that, but I would love to see what emoji you choose because, yeah. Emojis to describe the different transitions and changes that you've done, reinvented yourself. It's just beautiful energy. If you know someone else that would find this reading helpful, feel free, of course, to share it with them. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I post a pick a card reading or a quick pick. And Yeah, I'm sort of at a loss for words. It's like, yes, your soul shines. That is evident. I hope that you're not questioning yourself anymore. I hope that you understand that everything that you have been through allows you to step into a very foundational truth that is everything changes all the time, and you have discovered yourself through that change, and you have come out on the other side full of love and gratitude. You've just been able to do it. You're grounded, and yeah, it's like you just keep stepping up to the next level every time a change occurs. It doesn't scare you anymore. You feel creative and aware, and it's like living life to the fullest, allowing your soul to shine all along the way. So I hope that this serves you, and keep letting your soul shine. An adventure is coming your way. Thank you so much, group number 2. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your quick pick reading today. We're going to take a look at your earned wisdom and the beautiful insight that you've been able to gain through just your life experience. If you're listening to this, then you've chosen the card all the way to the right, the third card, Decisions. And what they were saying about this card is you've become very adept at making decisions, no matter what they may be. Sometimes they were just going through all the different kinds of decisions that we're faced with as a human being. And, sometimes it's like, you have to make a snap decision. Trust your intuition. Don't think about it, just do it. Other times there is a need for pondering or research or giving yourself some space to make the decision. It's like you can also make quick decisions. You figured out how the best way for you is, depending on the scenario in life, to decide what's best for yourself or others involved, is how they're saying it. So I'm really interested to see what's going to come up for your reading as we get into the columns, group 3, because it's just such an interesting piece of wisdom, I suppose, to have gained. It's like we make decisions all the time, big ones, small ones, little ones, etc. And you've just been able to somehow master that. Let's see what's under this Major Arcana card. Judgment. Yeah, this is an awakening card. Let's see. Relationship. My partner is in perfect resonance with my vibration. With understanding comes harmony in relationships. They have couple life. And the reason why they have that is because Judgment is the 20th card in the Major Arcana. And of course, 2s can represent coupling. My partner is in perfect resonance with my vibration. With understanding comes harmony in relationships. Oh, this is interesting. This is multi-layered, your energy, group 3. Multi-layered wisdom here. That's what it feels like woven. I am going to get all of your cards first here because this is a quick pick reading, and then we will go through them. So I'm going to pull from the Soul's Journey deck here for the different columns. The first being all from the top. What worked? That's easy. What didn't? And the earned wisdom or wisdom gained there at the end for you. Coupling those with one card each from the Good Tarot, which we only read upright. Thank you. Okay. Whoa. They said we'll give them to you. There they are. Okay. And Sacred Creators for a little bit of insight for the end of your reading. Thank you. And affirmation. Saying to group 2 that these affirmations are teeny tiny, but they pack a big punch. I can see they want that one. They're pretty potent, those little tiny cards. Just want to make sure yes, you can. Okay, let's see now what's under the what worked column. Ooh, guilt. I release my beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Yeah. See, you are multi-layered. I'm picking up multi-layered energy. Everybody's multi-layered, obviously. But it's like weeding through the different connections that come with this. So like the guilt energy around decisions that you may have made in the past, or they just said hard choices that you've had to make. It's like you've been able to navigate the guilt energy. Like sometimes you would have made decisions from guilt, but then you realize afterward that it really didn't serve you, or they're saying that it might have harmed someone close to you. And so you've been able to understand that this isn't helping anybody. It's not helping me. And shedding those kind of beliefs has really served you. It's been working for you. And this Judgment card, being that they are bringing up relationships in it, is a rising in not just one of your relationships, but it feels like multiple relationships or people that are connected to you. So I'm probably feeling multiple lines out here. I feel like you've had to make some hard decisions, group 3. And that you may have felt really bad sometimes about what it is that your intuition and what your soul needed to do. You had to like rise up and understand what's going to serve the highest good of all involved. And that you had to grapple with some of this, but you've been able to release a lot of the beliefs that you may have been carrying that would trigger that guilt energy anytime you made a decision around this relationship, this person, etc. It could be any relationship, could be friends, family. As I said, you've just gotten really good at going, what am I believing? Because if the guilt comes up, you've just used it, right? It's what worked. The guilt comes up, you go, what am I believing? Is this actually helpful? Is this going to help anybody here, including myself? If not, then you're able to kind of rise up and step out of it in order to get to a harmonious frequency to make that decision, even if it is hard. Even if it is hard. Wow. I feel like you've made some hard decisions, group 3. Whew. Okay. Let's see what's coupling this. Yes, messenger of water. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. The messenger of water is the Knight of Cups. And wow, yeah. It feels like there's waves hitting me, waves of energy hitting me, group 3, when I'm like sort of going, oh, wow, that. It just feels like with this card, the Knight of Cups, of course, is... It's a heart-centered movement, I would say, at its core. It can be charming energy, it can be imaginative, it can be moving forward from a place of your heart center. But here, it feels like it is having the courage to come from a place of compassion from your heart center and deliver a message or to move forward with a decision that you knew was the right thing to do. And it really feels like courage to me. It feels like you've had to have the courage and you're able somehow to rise up. And this is why you've gained all of this. It's like the ability. How did they say? You've become adept at making all kinds of different decisions. It's like it's not that difficult for you anymore because you have a practice around it, and the way that you deliver or move forward, the way that you move forward with the decision-making process really takes a look at those beliefs and you release them, right? And then you understand what needs to be done, and you do that from a place of compassion. You move forward from a place of love. Wow. Okay. What didn't work? Let's look at that. Surrender. I can release my need to control. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it just feels like you've had to make some hard choices, and the more that you gripped on, like tried to control other people or the way something was going to land, that's why this has worked for you, because you can if you go with the best of intentions, right? And you move with your heart, not your heart on your sleeve, but the intention of love, no matter what the decision is, whether it's amazing, which I'm sure you've delivered some amazing choices or made some amazing decisions where your delivery was one that was really positive and you're so excited to be able to deliver that message to someone, or they're giving me the energy of like when you have a teenager or something and you decide to allow them something that they've really, really, really wanted that has to do with their transition into like adulthood. That's what they're giving to me. That may resonate directly for some of you, but just remember, when you were a teenager or something and when you really wanted something and then it was given or you were able to attain it, how great it felt. And or somebody saying to you, yes, you can do that, or yes, whatever, I'll hire you, whatever it is. You've been able to deliver really positive messages with love as well. What didn't work for you, which you've obviously learned, which is the opposite of this card, which is why you have the Judgment here. The surrender energy control is the opposite of surrendering over and rising up. And so you've learned to surrender quickly and easily, they just said. Well done. And release that control. I think that kept you bogged for a while, trying to control what people might do or their own actions, somebody else's path, or outcomes is what they're saying. Like you might have been an avid planner to make sure everything's good and right, and you're making all these tiny decisions, everything needs to be in place, needing to be in control, and then it just would either fall apart, not go as planned, and you would be forced to surrender anyway. Surrender anyway. So it's kind of a wonderful thing to learn, I suppose. Control doesn't work, and surrender is the way to go. Especially when you're called to it. So you've been able to recognize when it's time to sort of go, you know what, I'm handing this over. I'm stepping back into a very divine alignment in order to be able to make this decision or in order to be able to create harmony, because it's not my stuff. It's not for me to decide. See that? Wow. Let's see what's coupling it. Yeah, transformation card here. This is the Death card in this deck. Look, she's letting the phoenix rise. Wow, that is cool. Yeah, you've had to let go. Imagine trying to keep that phoenix there. No way. No way. Not in the highest good. You've needed to release control in your life. You've needed to release control over other people's paths. Well done. You've done a good job at it. I don't think that it was easy. I think you've had to make a lot of, like I said, difficult decisions in your life. But this Death card is a rebirth. It's endings, it's change, it's transformation, it's transition, and releasing the control. Like what didn't work was you trying to keep control, right? Stop things from ending, stop things from changing, stop somebody from transitioning or something from transitioning, and particularly in some of your relationships, and thinking that you were the one who could make that decision. And you've come a long way. They just said you've come a long way. You've come a long way with this, where you can kind of know when it's time, I've got to let this go. I need to release this because it's not mine to carry. Something's changing and it's beyond me. It's almost like the divine influence, right? It's beyond me. I'm going to reconnect with the divine. I'm going to reconnect with source. I'm going to reconnect with spirit and allow that transition to take shape the way it needs to divinely instead of trying to control it. And I think that helped you make decisions as well once you did that instead of trying to micromanage or keep a hold on it. Wow. Okay. Let's see what's under the earned wisdom or wisdom gained. Discipline. Woo. I can accomplish whatever I set my mind to. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. That's what it says. And look at that. That's a pretty discipline. Just listening. Oh, okay. They're showing me the word reset for you, group 3. This discipline energy, I think, has transitioned over time, especially in your relationships, and how you make decisions, right? This is the earned wisdom category. This is the earned wisdom column. And what they're saying is you know how to like reset yourself, and you may have, it feels like there's a practice that you have, that you rely on, that you go to, that brings you back into a place of surrender or releasing guilt, or, you know, whatever it is that has worked for you that you've learned. That discipline, that practice seems to be one that is quite connected. And it resets you. And this is like very cool. Everybody should have a practice in their back pocket. Sounds like you, group 3, have figured out how to do that and what works exactly right for you. And this is why you're able to just like navigate the decision-making process. Yeah, whether it be big or small, when to let it go, when not to, you move back into the reset energy. So whatever it is that you have for a practice, if you don't have one yet, just know that there is one available for you, group 3. This is what you have gained. This is what you get to take with you in the future. It's a way to reset your energy and reset your mind, because whatever it is that you're going to go forward and accomplish, making these decisions, creating harmony, rising up, etc., it's all going to stem from your mind center, because you're human, you have a mind, right? We all have minds. And whatever this practice is, resets your energy, aligns you again, and it resets your mind, which I love. Let's see the coupling card. Yeah, just like 10 of water, total fulfillment, total harmony, total love. This is how you're able to do it. You've just figured out a practice or a way to, when stuff arises, when there is a decision to make, when there's a choice to make, when something's come up, when something's out of your control, you use the discipline or the practice to reset yourself to this massive, fulfilled type of energy instead. Huge thing to have with you. Huge thing to have learned, to have gained. Everybody should have this. I'm so proud of you. I feel like with the things that you've been through and the stuff that you've had to do, decide these hard decisions, especially in relationships, it can be really hard. Loss, etc. Now you're in a place where you don't question your decisions, and when you need to do it, you move through to this. You go, I need a minute, or you step into that practice, you step into that discipline, and then you're able, by resetting to this energy, which is like high vibrational harmony, divine love, massive emotional fulfillment, your mind resets and it remembers the truth. And that's the narrative that you work off of to make these decisions and to create the beautiful, harmonious relationships that you currently have. So if you don't think this is available to you, start asking spirit about it, because you have earned it. You have earned it with what you've been through to have this beautiful connected discipline, this practice in your back pocket that aligns with this divine love, total emotional fulfillment, that you can get back into it. And the more you practice, because that's what the practice is about. That's why it's called a practice, right? A discipline you don't do it once and then you're there, right? It's like a practice. Set yourself up for a practice, because you've earned it. It's what you've been able to gain, and you can move forward in your life with it, and it will reset you to just divine love, total fulfillment, massive emotional harmony that affects your relationships and affects the decisions that you make. Wow. Some of you, it just feels like to me, some of you are professionals that have really transformed over time or changed over time, that people seek out to help them make decisions, right? It's to help them make decisions, or when their relationships are going in a certain way or something's going on in their lives, they may come to you. So for some of you, it's like that's your job. Whether you're getting paid for it or not, it's part of your divine service here, or your purpose, that other people, because of the wisdom you have gained through the experience of your life, other people are now like seeking you out or talking to you or wanting to know what it is that you think, because you've been able to master it, that you've been able to move through it, and you've earned it. I know that sounds weird, but you've earned the fact that people can come and ask you about things and they trust you. Okay, let's see what is under the Sacred Creators card. Follow through. Okay, this feels like it's connect. Look at that. It's almost exactly. What I'm going to say here is, if you have been struggling with releasing certain beliefs lately, it's helping your soul grow, move from a place of love, make decisions from a place of love. You already know this is what works, so don't delay. If it's about this, which is the first thing that kind of felt connected to it, as I said, you have many lines out, group 3. If for you, the follow through is connected to the practice, if you've had a practice in place and you've just fallen off of it, or it doesn't feel to be working for you or aligned for you anymore, that's fine. The practice is supposed to change. Why? Because people change, things change, right? We transform. Things end and things begin. So get back into a practice. Follow through with it. Make sure that you're doing that, okay? Make sure that you're keeping commitments. Make sure that you're allowing yourself to take what it is that you've learned, because this is huge. It's not an easy thing. And again, they want me to say, once you have a practice that feels good for you, and that is an intuitive thing, your practice may not be like other people's practices, and that's actually really good. You want an intuitive practice in alignment with yourself to return you to this kind of high-vibing energy, right? This loving divine energy, harmonious energy. Once you find what that is, keep it until it doesn't serve you in the same way, right? And falling off a practice is not a bad thing. It's just a sign that things are changing, that you may have changed or your energy's shifted and something different needs to come in for you to practice. So just ask about it. Ask what you're meant to do. Don't overcomplicate it. They just said that like that. Don't overcomplicate it. Does not have to be a long practice. Does not have to be this intricate blah, 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 whatever. Can be something very simple that you do on a regular basis. And they want you to follow through with it because it really builds the connection to this energy, which is how you've been able to move into the space you're in now. You may have thought you weren't doing it methodically and you've just kind of learned over time. But if you're listening to this, then I'm here to tell you there is a practice that you can rely on, that you can put into place, that gets you there quickly and helps you move through little decisions, big decisions, etc. Especially if it's concerning relationships. Like if there are relationships that are harder for you that you're dealing with, get the discipline in place because it's going to reset your energy, reset your mind to something really high vibing. And I think this is a nod. For me, it really connected to that first. Follow through with the practice. The practice doesn't work unless you practice, right? Unless you follow through. All right, and let's see what's under the affirmation card. 24, nourish. Wow, guys, that's insane. Examine what areas of your life have been neglected. What can you do today to bring more self-care to these areas? Wow. Well, they're doubling down, right, on that practice. A divine practice, a spiritual practice, a moment of your time every day to connect is self-care. It's divine self-care. So nourish yourself. Well, I hope this reading served you. If you found it helpful, group 3, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or leaving me a comment down below. And if you know anyone else who may find it helpful, please feel free to share it with them so that they can receive the messages or insight or earned wisdom points that they need. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button or click the notification bell if you'd like to be notified the next time that I post a pick a card reading or a quick pick reading. As I said, many lines out, you're one of those people, group 3, those peeps that have multiple connections going on at all times. Some people do not have the woven energy as much, and this group feels like it does. And maybe you forget about yourself or that you can have something in place just for yourself, and I don't think it's going to be hard for you to do this if you allow yourself a moment to tap in. But it is magnificent what you have been able to learn about making decisions from a place that serves not only you, but others, other people in your relationships, other community energy, right? People are affected by the decisions that you make. And I don't think everybody always thinks about that. And you can do it with a sense of ease and love. And it's like you're protected in doing that. And you are able to, you've just been able to release the things that hold people back from making beautiful decisions for themselves and others in the face of change or transformation or just life, they just said, or just life. So it's amazing, your energy, group number 3. And I hope that you will allow yourself, if you don't already have it, to step into that practice, nourish your soul, follow through with that, and step into that beautiful, divine, loving, emotional fulfillment that you've gained through your experience. And well done. You know, you've earned it. I hope that this served you. Thank you so much, group number 3.